Thank you very much, dear ambassadors for peace, dear friends, dear Robin and Margaret. Thank you very much for inviting me to this such a happy meeting tonight. I'm very happy to be with you in England. Robin asked me to say a few words, so I will share a screen with you. Just a second. Robin asked me to say a few words on the Sunhak Peace Prize. So I will begin by quoting our founder's memoirs entitled Mother of Peace. If you read the book, you'll notice that Mrs. Moon, who founded the prize, describes this project in the very introduction, right after telling the story of the last moments her husband spent on this earth in 2012. In fact, the Sunhak Peace Prize was her first major initiative after her husband passed away. So it's not just one among many projects founded by Reverend and Mrs. Moon, but it embodies the vision and hope of Mother Moon for the future world of peace to which she dedicates the remaining years of her life. So let me read the quotes. I have two quotes to read with you. To experience true peace, we must first practice true love without expectation of reward. My husband and I walked this path, and continuing on it, I prepared the Sunhak Peace Prize as a gift for the world from Father Moon. The world's leading peace awards focus on solving the problems of the present. Yet we must solve the problems of the present in a way that is integrated with a practical vision for a happy future. I founded the Sunhak Peace Prize as a bridge, bringing us out of this world's maelstroms of conflict and as a compass pointing to a future homeland of peace. I'm sure you're familiar with some of the Father Moon's and Mother Moon's achievements in the past 6 decades. So I'll just sum it up in a very few words. First, we can say they dedicated their lives to transcending the barriers of religion through many projects to promote understanding and harmony among the religions of the world. And they brought together religious leaders, but also they brought together the religious scriptures of the world through this great book, which is called World Scripture, which you can see on this screen here. Second, they constantly reached out beyond ideological and political barriers to solve international conflicts that plagued the 20th century by bringing together political enemies. I'll always remember one former head of state from Eurasia who told me, what always deeply impressed me when I met Reverend Moon is that I saw he never considered anyone his enemy. He was someone who always welcomed anybody. And perhaps more fundamentally, they did their utmost, despite facing misunderstanding and persecution even, to bring together the world as one family under God. For instance, they encouraged tens of thousands of marriages between young people from enemy nations like Japan and Korea. As you can see on this photo, these are couples from Japanese and Korean. As you know, Japan and Korea have been very bitter enemies in the last century. And they did that to try to overcome the legacy of conflict and wars. And on the right, you can see they shared a vision to link the world together from London to New York and from the tip of South Africa to the tip of South America through an international highway for peace that would be like a modern Silk Road, helping to bridge cultures and reduce regional inequalities. Recently, Mrs. Moon has particularly encouraged the Korean and Japanese to move ahead with one part of this project, which is building a tunnel that would link Korea and Japan. They also concretely developed many projects in the realm of arts, sports, or business in order to build a positive, creative, and peaceful environment in the global era. You can see on the left, the Universal Ballet. It was a joint project between Russia and the United States right at the end of the Cold War. And on the right, you can see this car factory, the Pyeonghwa Motors, was the first car company that was ever built in North Korea, and that was built at the initiative of our founders, Reverend and Mrs. Moon. So this is the foundation upon which the Sunhak Peace Prize was initiated by Mrs. Moon in 2015. The prize is awarded every 2 years. The amount of the prize is $1 million. It's big. It's like a Nobel Prize, which is usually shared between two laureates. Candidates can be either individuals or organizations who have contributed significantly to the promotion of peace for people of diverse nations, races, religions, or ideologies. So organizations can be nominated, but individuals can be nominated as long as they are still presently alive. The laureates are chosen among people whose achievement belong to three major areas of activity, as you saw in the video. First is sustainable human development, which includes poverty relief, disease eradication, education, and welfare. Second is conflict resolution, which means resolution of all kinds of disputes, religious harmony, or peace among nations. And third, ecological conservation, which means climate change prevention, the biodiversity, protection, energy, innovation, etc. As you have seen in the video, the laureates of the first edition of the Sunhak Peace Prize had remarkable achievements regarding the impact of climate change and the protection of resources from the oceans, which has been a very long time focus of our founders. Dr. Tong was the president at that time of Kiribati Island, and he invested a lot to protect his islands from, because of the rising level of the sea. So he had many important decisions made to protect his island against this impact of climate change. And then Dr. Gupta from India actually had already received the World Food Prize in 2005 for his achievements in helping poor communities in Southern Asia to develop self-sufficiency through fish farming. The second edition of the prize was awarded to two remarkable individuals who invested their whole lives for the sake of refugees or civil victims of war. Dr. Strada set up this organization called Emergency that provides free surgery to many children victims of conflict in Africa. And Dr. Yakubi from Afghanistan, a wonderful woman, I think some of you know her already. She gave hope and education to millions of refugees in Afghanistan, particularly among women and girls. The third prize was dedicated to human rights and development in Africa. And again, two outstanding individuals were selected. Dr. Adesina from Nigeria was selected for establishing a system supporting poor farmers in his country. He also has received the World Food Prize in 2017. And the Somali top model, Waris Diri, who began her career in England and whose incredible life was already made into a movie, became a UN Goodwill Ambassador to help eradicate this tradition of female genital mutilation. The Sunhak Peace Prize, exceptionally, was given 1 year later, in 2020, on the occasion of our founder, Reverend Moon's centenary celebration in Korea. I think some of you attended this World Summit. A special founder's prize was given to Ban Ki-moon for his contribution to the promotion of sustainable development as a UN Secretary General, and President Macky Sall from Senegal was recognized for the promotion of democracy in Africa. And Bishop Younan, who is a Palestinian Christian, he is a Lutheran bishop, and he was the former president of the Lutheran World Organization. And so he was awarded this for his interreligious work in the Middle East. Now, the campaign for nominations of the prize of candidates is open already, as was mentioned by Robin, until the end of July. There will be deliberations by the committee, which is constituted by respected leaders in the areas of peace building and who are also UPF ambassadors for peace. You can see Dr. Hong, who is next to Dr. Walsh, of course. You can see he's a former president of Korea University. You have the former Minister of Defense of Japan, Mr. Ono. You have the former presidents of parliaments of the Philippines and Luxembourg, José de Venecia, Mrs. Shebgas. You have also a high-level Korean diplomat, Ambassador Chung, and of course, our core UPF leaders. You may say there's not enough women on this committee, but don't forget that our founder, Mrs. Moon, has a major role in determining the theme of each Sunhak Peace Prize. She's very involved. This is really her project, and we really owe this to her devotion and dedication. So I don't know this year what will be the theme yet, but the submission of information on candidates has already been open, and the deadline is the end of this July, coming July 31st. And the Sunhak Peace Prize 2022 laureates will be announced publicly at the end of this year, and the prize will be awarded in a major world summit that will be convened in Korea, whether we're not sure whether in North or South Korea, but in April 2022. So I believe some of you may have also good candidates to propose for this upcoming Sunhak Peace Prize. So I give the floor back to Robin for the discussion. Thank you very much for your attention.